I woke up this morning trying to figure out if Overwatch 2 skins are overpriced. And it was a very quick answer in that, yes, I think they're overpriced. However, there's a lot that we have to consider here. As someone that comes from Rocket League and Destiny, I wasn't super surprised with the skin prices. Like, there wasn't a huge shock to me when I saw what things landed at. Part of that was just because I have experience with other games and also other games that price their skins even higher than this. I didn't feel the culture shock that a lot of the community did. I bought the skin. I like it. With that in mind, though, I'm also coming from the Destiny community where in the past, a lot of the skins from their store fund other pieces of content. So, like, for example, a few years ago, we had huge, wildly successful secret exotic missions that I feel like the community is really missing these days. But those events and missions were funded by skins that they dropped, right? Like, they dropped really amazing looking skins. The community bought them, and then the money from that went and funded something else that we didn't have to pay for, like extra. So when I look at it like that, I'm like, okay, if Blizzard makes an absolute metric ton of money off of the Kiriko skin, what could that fund, right? There is the possibility that they just pocket that and nothing happens and we're SOL. And I think when that happens, it's a really scummy feeling because it's like we are hoping that that money is going towards content because it's now a free-to-play game and we're not paying like a subscription or yearly or anything. Imagine for a second the Blizzard comes out and they're like, hey, the Kiriko skin sold so well, we're dropping an extra hero per season on top of what we already were promising because of those skin sales. It sounds so weird saying skin sales. I don't think that is going to happen. I think in my ideal Blizzard world, that's what happens, is they're like, hey, this skin just funded like 5 extra support characters for this year. I'd be okay with that. Right now, where it's at, I think if they cut the prices in half, they'd be in a much better spot and more accessible spot. But also, on the other hand, like looking at the skins of other games between Fortnite, Valorant, Apex, like CSGO, all of those skins are more expensive or like about the same. I know Destiny's skins are about the same as this, if not like a little bit more. And it also, to a degree, does add to the exclusivity of these skins because we're not going to see every single person in a lobby rocking the same skin every single game that we saw in Overwatch 2 when new skins came out, right? Like an entire team, game after game after game, would be rocking the same skins. And there isn't any like, oh, I was there and got this skin. So at the same time, I think FOMO, like fear of missing out, is it's so effective as a marketing and sales strategy, but I hate it. I hate that it works. Ultimately, I think it comes down to what you value in the game. And if you've put a lot of hours in, I think for me, like, I don't have a problem dropping money on games like Overwatch and Destiny. Those are my like 2 biggest games. I'd say Destiny is definitely above Overwatch just because I've been playing it longer. But I don't have any problem dropping money for skins on these games, but only because I've put so many hours into the games and because I plan on putting so many more hours into the games. I think the problem that we get into is that newer players aren't going to be as willing to shell out the money for it, especially if they're not like dedicated long-time players. And also casual players probably aren't going to shell out for the more expensive skins either. Even the less expensive skins are still wicked expensive from Overwatch 1. Like, just looking at all the Halloween skins, and it's like, oh, those are old skins, but you're still selling them for like $20 a piece. I think if I was Blizzard, I would just cut the prices of all of the skins in half, honestly. I think that at least puts them accessible. And you can still keep your higher end skins here and there, I guess. It's so hard to make this decision because it's like, when you really look at it, it's like, wow, I'm paying $26 for a character in a game to look different. And when you put it like that, and when you really step back, and even though I've put all of these hours into the game, it's absurdly expensive. I can change my appearance, like, still less expensive than buying a pack of skins in Overwatch. You know, I can go out and buy a t-shirt and change my actual real life appearance for less than an Overwatch skin. So I don't know. Where's the money going? That's the other thing, is that I always wonder, it's like, okay, what are these? Are they funding? Communication is so important with these topics, is that if I don't mind expensive prices, if Blizzard is like, hey, the artists that make these skins, like for us to pay them, you know, we have to price them at this point, and then it's like, cool, we are making sure that they can continue to make skins of this caliber for the rest of the game's lifespan. Like, that's worth it too, but like a little bit of communication goes so far. And I feel like so many gaming companies, and like Overwatch is doing a little bit better with their communication, but it still feels extremely corporate. It's too corporate, and I think people are starting to lose their interest for the like hyper corporate responses, where it's like, just be real with people, be real with players, and you'll gain their respect for it, or you'll lose it, and depending on what it is, and you might not want them playing your game anyway. But it's a nuanced topic to a degree, and I don't know. What are your thoughts on all of this? Like, would you be okay with Blizzard pricing skins like this if they're like, hey, these skins are funding new heroes, they're funding new missions, they're funding these different projects? Imagine if they were like, hey, these skins are helping to fund the animated shorts. That's a cool trade-off, I guess, but it's up to you to decide.